Hey, Tom Moran here from Tom's Big Spiders. What we're going to do here, surprise, is a couple rehousings. But I've had a couple folks ask me lately, actually quite a few folks, how to do the faster arboreal species, and Poecilotheria came up quite a bit. I think what happens is people get them as slings. They're really cute, but then that first rehousing comes, that first rehousing opportunity that they've been dreading for a while, because now their little 1-inch sling is like 3 inches and in a 16-ounce deli cup or something around that size, and they're panicking. So what we're going to do here is move mine from the 16-ounce deli cups into the larger enclosures and show what you can expect. Now, I've had nothing but great luck with Poecilotheria species. I love them. I think they're demonized in many instances and they get a bad rep. So hopefully this video will show you what to expect as far as the temperament, some things to look for. And again, I've said this many times before. People have asked me what to do and how to rehouse a spider that is kind of losing it and becoming very defensive and slapping. I'll tell you the best way to do it is to put the spider back, put the cover on, walk away, come back later when it's calmed down. There's no point in wrestling with a defensive spider. That's going to get you hurt. The spider's going to escape. It's just not going to work for anybody. So enough of me talking. Let's get into the actual video. All right, we're about to rehouse my Poecilotheria ornatas. I have two of them. They're both juveniles. One is supposedly a confirmed male. This one here, I believe, is the female. Now, sweating a little bit. It's really hot here, but these guys, and of course, she's going to go right down into her cork bark, so I missed my opportunity. This is why sometimes it's better to not film while we're doing these, because it tends to make everything go wonky. Now, these guys tend to be a bit more high-strung as far as the other pokies. I have kept both of them. They have seemed to calm down a bit, but when they were smaller, I did get a threat posture out of one of them once. I started it with a cricket, and one of them did do the laps around the enclosure. That was the male, so I'm hoping this will go a little bit better now that they put on some size, but who knows. I'm going to get this out of here. This one I could not get out of her shipping container. And then when she came out of her shipping container, she was using it as a burrow, and then by the time she stopped using it as a burrow, I couldn't get it out of there because she had webbed it in. And we'll see. Sometimes what's easier to do, and what I've got here, if you look around, when doing the fast arboreal species, I have catch cups everywhere, because what ends up happening is you have one catch cup. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, you're grabbing for something. You can't remember where it is. It's over here. The spider's going up the wall this way. I kind of have one in every direction. So if it should bolt, I have one very close by. And this one here is for sometimes it's easier to drag out whatever the cork bark is. They'll stay on the cork bark, and you can drop this over top of it while you can clean out the rest of the stuff. In theory, as I bump the enclosure and probably startle her. I've got to grab a leg here. I get a little shot of her there. I'm going to put this thing on top of her. There she is, showing some of those colors. All right, now for my next trick. Now, one of the reasons I'm rehousing these, A, as you can see, they're fairly large. B, this one doesn't have it, of course. It's the other one. I got some of that yellow fungus in here. I tend to get it with the cocoa fiber. It's not mold, it's yellow. If you look at it real close, it looks like little yellow balls with fuzz around them. If you leave it alone, let it grow. If it gets wet, what'll happen is you get these giant yellow spongy mushrooms that come out of nowhere and grow very quickly. I haven't seen it cause any issues with the spiders, but I can't imagine having all those spores in there are good for them, so I try to clean them out when that happens. But with regular mold, you can usually scoop out the dirt when there's mold around it. It's usually a bolus or some type of uneaten prey item that you didn't notice, and you can get the dirt around it, pull it out, and the mold will go away. With this stuff, you can keep scooping it out. It just keeps coming back, and as soon as you moisten it down, whether you overflow a water dish or sprinkle some water in there, it's right back and blows up. So this one doesn't have it as bad. The male that's cranky as heck has it, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Is she still on top?
Yes.
And the enclosures here, I get these off Amazon. I will put a link to them because I don't remember what they're called. So what I'll do is somewhere around the side around here, I'll put one of my little note things saying what they are. But I changed the brand because the original brand I had went up like 12 bucks. So I picked up, I believe there were 4 of them in a box for like $30. But I love the size. They're stackable. They're good for arboreals. And they allow me that top access that I like. This one we might be able to just drop the whole thing in because there's none of that mold. Substrate, and this one I do have the BioDude substrate. I know. I don't know if you can see her in there. I feel bad. No, I don't want to do that. No, this is not going to work.
What do you do?
Nothing. I just got to figure out how to negotiate. Because if I... that's not going to work. And that's not going to work. And...
You slide it down the cork part?
Oh boy. This is not ideal. All right, girl, you got to get out of that. All right, so what you guys can't see is the cork bark that's leaned over here. She's now underneath the cork bark. So I'm going to try to do is gently prod her, and hopefully she'll loop around underneath. If you want to get on this side over here. You see her? Oh, she is.
Yep.
Do me a favor, grab with your other hand that cover. Should go underneath to avoid the light.
Underneath something.
Oh, okay.
Underneath the cork bark.
And let's make sure she doesn't go back up the other side. Let me get this out of here. And lid on, and there we go. Perfect. All right, if you want to move back around me, only because I forgot I have the stupid wire for the microphone. We have been using the microphone. Last video I forgot to use it, so I apologize for the terrible sound quality. I know my voice goes all around, but there we go. She's inside. We're going to do a second one of these. I know these aren't the most thrilling rehousings in the world, but the idea is to get them in. Oh, they're running really hard. There she is under there. So what we have here, a piece of cork bark leaned at, an angle, 45 degree, whatever. Some substrate underneath. Obviously, I did put some leaf litter in there. Dog's clicking in the background. That's my trademark. And then we have, there you go. And then we have the sphagnum moss, which what she will do is probably web up behind here, use the sphagnum moss, the dirt, hopefully some of the leaf litter to create those dirt curtains that they'll use to create a burrow. And we'll probably try feeding her in a little bit because she just molted and looking a little thin. So there we go, pure ornata, the first one, hopefully a female. That one is done. Next one will be the male, which I'm not looking forward to. Okay, round two with the juvenile pure ornatas. This is the male. This guy's, I'm going to admit, I'm a little weary of doing this one because he's been a bit spastic, but hopefully what we'll be able to do is drag out this piece of cork bark. He'll stay on that. We'll put this over top of it, and this is the one I was talking about, and as you can see there is that fungus, sorry, my gnarly fingers that I chew, that I absolutely loathe. The stuff smells sweet. It's yellow. If you look really close, you can see those it's like little balls. And then what'll happen is if that gets wet and starts to grow, you'll get the fungus, the little mushrooms coming up, and they grow super fast. It's kind of eerie. We've had one spring up like just basically over a day. So we're going to go ahead and try to get this one out. Now, as far as care goes, I do like keeping my Poecilotheria in the 16-ounce deli or the 32-ounce deli cups to start off. Those are the taller deli cups like these. If you want something, oh, looks like I got an email. If you want something a little nicer, something around that side works. I know a lot of people don't like the deli cups because they don't think they're aesthetically pleasing. I like them because you can stack them up. They're, disposable. You can easily ventilate them. I usually put in about an inch or two of substrate, a cork bark lean to the side, and then some of the sphagnum moss and a water dish, which they usually quickly bury. However, note that they will take the sphagnum moss at the sling size, and they will basically burrow a little bit, do some dirt curtains, so they won't be arboreal to start off. A lot of people get confused by that because they'll pick up pokey and get confused because they've heard they're arboreals, yet they're digging or burrowing. They do usually outgrow it, although I have some of them, despite the fact that they have arboreal setups, still hide out behind the cork bark. And this is gonna stink. Got the big one here. Now with the other one, we were obviously able to just go ahead and drop the old thing in. I don't want the fungus in this new enclosure if I can help it, so we're gonna have to find a way to get it off of the cork bark, I think, unless I just say the heck with it. Which direction is it faced? Backwards, right? And what you're seeing there, I'm glad we kind of got that on film, is that's generally what they want to do when they're, afraid or when somebody comes in and infiltrates their enclosure. They use their natural camouflage. They flatten themselves out and try to hide. That's ideally what you want because when they feel like they're exposed, that's when they start bolting, which may happen in a moment. So I'm going to try to get this one off of the cork bark into a catch cup, into here. It does not want to get off. It's going to just go right around the corners now. Come on, buddy. Buddy. There you go. All right, so that's ideally what you want. And now I got to try to do my magic trick and get it in here. So what I'm going to do is move this so I can get it straight down. Yeah. All right, we actually just broke for a second there because the dogs were outside barking. We had them out of the house for this first part. Now what I'm going to try to do is get him out of here. And they do usually want to go up. So use that to your advantage when you're rehousing. Predict that they're going to want to go up. Get your little foot. All right, you want to get ready with the top. Up. Easy, buddy. I'm trying not to. Yep, we're good. All right, now if you want to get a shot of them, you want to zoom in, I'm going to have this ready. This is the one that is suspect male. Beautiful species. Have some of those greenish tones to them. Gorgeous spiders. So what we have here, this container here, I believe is about 1.5 gallons. I'll put the actual stats up. I had the notes, but they're behind this big background we have here, and I don't feel like getting them. So what I'll do is add the notes. But I really like these for the arboreals. I ventilate them. The plastic's softer, so it's easy to ventilate. They're a nice size for those juveniles. They're easy to negotiate around. When I have to get this one on here, it's very easy to pull the cork bark out, and I have a big space to cup it, which I absolutely love. As opposed to the 1 gallon mainstay containers I used to use from Walmart that look very, very pretty, crystal clear, but they have the corners that they get hung up on, so I've moved away from those. These obviously have the milkiness of the Sterilite containers, but I'm looking for something right now that, you know, makes more sense and makes my life easier as opposed to pretty. They'll go in pretty enclosures when they're adults. So this one here, again, cork bark leaned at an angle, got some of the sphagnum moss, any topsoil, you know, cocoa fiber, peat moss with vermiculite, any mixture of those works fine. I do have the BioDude stuff in here because I bought a bunch of it, have it on hand, and I kind of like it. So I've got that in here. I did put some leaf litter in just for looks and for them to make those dirt curtains. I will moisten down part of the substrate, and they will be getting a water dish pretty soon, and I have seen them drink out of the water dishes. And then occasionally what I'll do is just squirt the side because I've also seen them vacuum the water off the side. So there we go. Those are rehoused. Nobody escaped. Nobody got bit. That's just the way we like it, which makes sometimes for boring rehousing videos, but I've read a lot of things on Facebook lately of people having, you know, panic attacks from trying to rehouse, and some of the things they do. I think once you do it enough, you start to learn some tricks and stuff to really minimize the chance of something getting out. It could always happen, but there are ways to really reduce it. So hopefully by showing these people, we'll see, all right, there are ways to do it without having a crazy rehousing with the Benny Hill music and things running around and tarantulas on the ceiling. So there we go. Poecilotheria ornata. I can't remember what the common name is, but it'll obviously be when I label these, it'll be in there. Beautiful species, can't wait to grow these ones up. All right, so as you can see in both cases, they went well. Again, that fungus there, that yellow fungus, I don't know. Hopefully somebody will chime in. And again, if you're the person that asked me to send you some of it, please let me know. I'd love to still send. I still have some of that. Somebody asked me if I could send it to them. They said they'd basically tell me exactly what it was, and then I lost the address and the email for it, so I don't know what happened there. But anyway, I get that stuff. It tends to blow up. I haven't been successful like I have been with just regular mold and just spot cleaning and getting it out. If I see it in one spot, it's probably all over the place. I've had it end up at the bottom of an enclosure, down the sides, underneath cork bark. I don't know if it's coming from the cork bark or cocoa fiber, but I loathe it. But anyway, both rehousings went well. You can see there, it wasn't a big deal. The trick is to stay calm, have your catch cups ready, have a good environment that you can react. I know some people like the bathtub. That works. Little trick, spray the bathtub off ahead of time because the water makes it a little, less able to get, they can't get as much traction on the water. I will sometimes do that with my plastic containers as well. And be calm about it. Go ahead of time, watch some good videos where people are rehousing them and it goes smoothly. Try to avoid the ones that are like disaster. Pokey gets out my house, because that's just going to amp you up. Again, those are fun for entertainment. I don't think they're particularly useful as far as being instructional, unless you just want to see what's the worst case scenario. So anyway, that'll about do it. If you've never seen any of my videos before, would like to check out a couple more, I put them down in here. If you like the video enough that you'd like to subscribe, very much appreciated. You can click the little circle. I always point the wrong spot, but somewhere around here, and I usually don't put anything over here. Again, love to get comments, answer every single one of them. If I don't answer one, call me on, because it means I missed it. Thanks so much. We'll catch you guys next time.